Good morning. Instead of books this Saturday, we're going to talk about this magazine, a great resource for all of you that may be martial artists or want to know more about martial arts, especially the Korean arts. But it's not just martial arts because we'll see active shooter response is in there as well. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. Appreciate everybody that shows up, comments, subscribes to the newsletter at enjoylifesafely.com, and just helps grow this community. It's been a wonderful experience last year, and it's only going to get better this year. I'm here in my Korean warrior shirt, at the Korean War Museum that I bought there in Seoul. Have one of my Sun-Shin mugs. There's the turtle ship that he's famous for that I'm drinking out this morning because we're going to talk a little bit about him. And normally Saturdays, I like to talk about some books and give you some ideas of things to read and just encourage you to read more, regardless if it's things that I show or just things that interest you, educate you, and so forth. This morning, I wanted to talk about a great resource to read, and that's this magazine. Okay, and this comes out from the United States Taekwondo Association. If you're familiar with Grandmaster Doug Cook, he's written a number of books on Taekwondo. He's the publisher of this magazine under the United States Taekwondo Association, his Taekwondo Association. And the magazine focuses primarily on Korean martial arts. And I'm proud to have contributed a few times. This older magazine, this one came out, this was May 15th, 2019, a few years ago, but I really liked the article that I contributed to this magazine, Admiral Sun-Shin, Korea's greatest warrior. And you can see what I like about this magazine. It's reminiscent of the old Journal of Asian Martial Arts. I mean, it's a thick magazine that has in-depth articles, not just a 1 or 2 page article and then 5 pages of advertisements. So, I mean, I actually got to share quite a bit about Sun-Shin in this article. And those are some actual photos. I mean, that's a photo of a turtle ship that I took at the War Museum. There's a picture from the War Museum of the sword. That little turtle ship is one of mine in my collection. There's a bust of Admiral E, a picture that I took at the War Museum in Korea. And so I actually just got to share an awful lot. As you can see, it's a long article about Admiral E. And so I was very proud to be in this issue. And then the most recent issue that just came out, November 15th, 2023, is Master Stuart Ansel on the cover. It's a cool thing about Stuart is I have one of his books. He's an author, and I have From Creation to Unification by him. And what's really cool is this is a signed copy. I didn't meet him. This was actually a gift from a good friend of mine, Thomas Gordon, who had this book signed by Stuart for me because he knows I collect martial art books and I collect signed books. So this was really a nice gift by Tom, who I was actually talking to this morning about the Korean Martial Art Federation Festival, the Korean Martial Art Festival, which is coming up in April. And we were talking about that. If you go to an event, go to that one. It is a fantastic event, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a banquet on Saturday night. There's training all 3 days. Fantastic group of martial artists, various instructors, many of them Korean martial artists, hence the name, the Korean Martial Art Festival, but not all. You don't have to be a Korean stylist to be there. One of the instructors the last few years has been Dan Severin. You may know Dan Severin, the Beast, from his time in the Octagon, one of the Ultimate Fighting champions. And then he went into professional wrestling for a while. He is an actual wrestler, tough guy. I mean, he won the Ultimate Fighting Championships and great guy, great instructor. Obviously, he's not a Korean martial artist. He'll be there again this spring. Looking forward to seeing him again. We've been in touch about some cane stuff that he wanted to know about. And so wants to get together and talk about some cane things this year when we're there. great guy. It's really been good to get to know him the last few years, and looking forward to seeing him again, as I'm looking forward to seeing all the different instructors that I've made friends with over the last decade and something that we've been getting together and teaching. So that's a plug for that. I'll talk more about that on a different show, but definitely that's an event to attend. Let's get back to the magazine. Definitely a great magazine to put on your reading list. I mean, it's in-depth articles. You can see here when you go through, you have it's not just a lot of advertisements. When you get into the articles, you get articles and photographs more in depth, like the Journal of Asian Martial Arts used to be. Now, this one was a little different because I didn't write about Korean martial arts. And I may, hopefully do some more with this magazine, maybe do some stuff on Hapkido, some stuff on Korea. I was really proud of doing this thing on Admiral E. But this magazine, I actually contributed an article on active shooter response, just because it's an important topic nowadays. If you tuned in yesterday, we were talking about the Iowa school shooting. And so when I talked to Grandmaster Doug Cook about an article, he said, why don't we do something about active shooters? Because it's a timely topic and it's an important topic. So I have this article. And again, I liked it because instead of writing a 2-page quick little article, I actually got to put in depth. You can see here, it's a number of pages talking about prevention, talking about what to do during an event. There's a picture of me with a fire extinguisher, something I teach as an improvised weapon, talking about, the training and different things you can do, and so I really like that I got to really put an in-depth, longer article together to talk about this topic. And besides my article, this new article has an interview with Stuart Anslow on the cover, has an in-depth article on board breaking, has some safety and health, the best practices for if you're a school owner. So there's just some really good stuff. There's an art feature about Korea, which is really cool. There's an article on dakjangjeong, which is Korean food. So there's different things, not just martial arts related, but here's your article about the Korean food and something that might be interesting for people. And so highly recommended. Go to the United States Taekwondo Alliance website, look up Grandmaster Doug Cook. You'll be able to find this magazine. Back issues that are available you can purchase, and you can subscribe and purchase new ones. Good magazine, good resource. I want to say good morning to some people. Good morning, Jay and Vicky. Appreciate you being here. I met up with Vicky yesterday and gave her that book, the signed Scott Hamilton book that we talked about last week when we wished her happy birthday. And I said I was going to do that. So I was able to get that delivered to her yesterday. Dixon, proper sound shift for the NL combo means Hoonlyun, but you know that, okay? Hoonlyun, yeah. So I mean, it's the L and N. Good morning. I can't make an omelet. FYI. Good morning, Eric. Appreciate you. And Dixon says with pizza at Dixon, Dixon says with pizza at Eric. Knowing Eric's a pizza guy. Appreciate all of you guys showing up and saying hello. Share this magazine. Besides my article on Sun-Shin, want to talk a little bit, other things that are in there. There's the interview with Master Wanda for Oyola. I don't know if I can pronounce that correctly. She's on the cover. There's how you spell that name. I apologize for not being able to pronounce it. There's In Search of New Korean Taekwondo with Master Doug Cook, Grandmaster Doug Cook. No Excuses, How to Get the Most from Your Martial Arts Life and Practice. An art feature on indomitable spirit. The Physiology of a Front Kick. A Brief History of Changhon Taekwondo. A Taste of Korea, Kimbap. I love kimbap. And so that was sort of some food in here. If you haven't had kimbap, it's sort of the Korean version of a sushi type roll. Okay, but it's a little different than the Japanese sushi rolls. And kimbap doesn't always have to have meat in it. It can be purely vegetarian, or it can have meat in the middle. Um, Excellent. And if you go to a kimbap place in Korea, there are a lot of different kinds of what they're going to put in the middle. And here's a little article about how you can make some at home. I know my wife and daughter, they make kimbap here at home, and excellent stuff. So again, one more reason why this is just a really great magazine, giving you food from Korea, martial arts from Korea, art and history from Korea, and this newest issue, even a little bit of active shooter response, prevention and response, things that you can do to save lives. Something that I spend a lot of time trying to help people with. And I appreciate being able to share that knowledge in this magazine to help more people. Jay says it made her day. Thanks. That's awesome. I'm glad we were able to do that. Thank you, everybody. Wanted to share that magazine. Check it out. Go there, check it out. We don't have a lot of imprint martial art magazines anymore. Used to be, you went to the store, there was a shelf of different martial art magazines. They're all going away. Everything's online now. So it is sort of nice to have an in-print, physical martial art magazine of high quality. I mean, you can see in-depth articles, fantastic photographs. So it's nice to have a resource such as that. So I thank Grandmaster Doug Cook for putting this magazine out. Go there, support him by purchasing the magazine, enjoying the magazine, learning from the magazine, so he can continue to keep putting these out. If you're one of my author buddies and friends out there, contact him if you have an idea that you want to share and write about. It's a great opportunity for people to be able to write and share their expertise in a printed format like that as well. Thank you, everybody. Go out, make it a spectacular Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.